building. Let's get over this way a little bit. Hello. Make sure I'm recording. I am recording. I did start the right one, I think. So, it's a little bit beforehand though. So good. I can get everything right there. Look, it says, "Hey y'all," right in the middle of us. I'm recording and we're live.
Are you really?
Yes, we're live. I know. See, participants. Look at everybody. Hi, everybody. Pick up your microphone there. Make sure they can hear us. Everybody's rolling in right now.
Hello, welcome. Happy New Year.
So,
Happy 2020.
Yeah, what is today? It's the 6th. It's the 6th. How y'all doing today? Super excited to see everybody. We got people rolling in. Oh, you can allow people to talk. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. All right, guys, go change. I got a couple of quick housekeeping things as people roll into today's member call. Number one, make sure that your chat box is open and that it says all panelists and attendees. Make sure that it says that so that everyone can hear you. You guys make sure that you are chatting and talking to each other all throughout the call. Some of the best conversation and biggest breakthroughs do happen in the chat box on our Flip Your Life community member calls. If you do have an online business, life, any kind of question today, Jocelyn's a little quieter. Okay, we'll work on the microphone.
Yes, that is as per the usual, right?
Select a microphone. All right, which one's yours? Oh, I know why. You're up.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
down. Now she should
All
be
right,
louder.
see if that's
Is that better?
maybe.
Is that better? Is that how it works?
Paul, he's our AV guy,
AV
so
guy, he's watching
he can
out,
tell us about
it. Tell us if you can hear Jocelyn a little bit better now. It should be. Jocelyn is a little quieter still. Okay, so go ahead in the chat box. Yep, it's better.
Okay, good.
Perfect. Thanks, Paul.
Take that thing off there because it's
I got
annoying. Yeah.
All right. If you have a question, if you will look down at the bottom of your screen, you can see it says Q&A. Click on that button, and you should be able to leave us a question.
And it just separates it from the chat so we can find it easier.
So we can get them a lot faster. So go ahead and put those in. I had one from Alex, but I think Alex is here. So, Alex, I did get your question on email if you want to send that in. We're kind of changing up the way that we're going to do the Q&As in the community right now, guys. I am going to post a replay. We've had a lot of people asking that. I'm going to process those immediately after the replay, but we're not going to probably do a post anymore beforehand because we are using Zoom now. So really, I'm going to just do a blog post where it will announce the member calls. We will email that out to you guys. And in the future, I'm probably going to turn on comments on that blog post. And that's where we can collect questions if you can't be here, if you can't, you just want to watch the replay later, and you want to leave a question for the Q&As. We will be able to do that going forward. So we're working out some kinks in our system. We're trying to change some things around in the community as well. And we're just trying to work out some new things. So we're going to get this organized eventually. But I know that a couple people have emailed me this week because they couldn't ask a question ahead of time. And a couple people have asked about replays. So those will all be in the community. Just bear with us as we're trying to make things more efficient and easier for you guys. But that means breaking things in the process. So it's going to happen. All right. I see one question already in the Q&A. There comes another one from Jennifer Bradley. And I see a question from Alex. We want to get all the questions in there right now. So whatever your online business question is, don't be a lurker. Ask your question in the Q&A. And as soon as we get 3 or 4 of those, we will get those going. But we don't want to be waiting for questions in between calls. In between questions, when we run out of questions, we run out of time on the member call. So ask your question now. Do not wait for us to call for questions, okay? Any announcements right now? I don't think we have any announcements going on. We have another member call in 2 weeks, which is let me look at that. Make sure y'all can get that in your calendars. The next member call will be, wait for it. I think on the 20th. It will be on the 20th at 12 o'clock. So if you want to mark that in your calendars now. Got a ton of great podcasts coming out for you guys this month, too. We have been recording like crazy lately. Tons of brand new interviews with lots of amazing people. Some huge success stories. We've got coming up people who made $250,000 last year. We've got people who hit 1,000 members. We actually have another $1 million member that we're going to be bringing on pretty soon. And Flip Your Life community member who has hit $1 million in sales in their online business. So that's
we have several
pretty cool.
now.
Yes, we do. It's pretty awesome. And the community is growing and everything's going good. I see 3 questions down right now. So we are going to go ahead and start answering questions And let's see, what's this? All right, cool. So we're going to start answering questions real quick. And once we get those done, if you have a question or any follow-ups, go ahead and put those in the Q&A section. And feel free to discuss anything. If you've got answers, if you hear a question and you know the answer to it, or you can help somebody, give them some suggestions, go ahead and put that in the chat. Here's a comment for, success stories. What is your most recent success story, guys? If you want to put that, you can drop that in the Q&A as well. Just put success, semicolon, when you put it. But we want to hear what's going good in your business right now. We want to share some of those success stories. We want to celebrate those success stories, and we want to inspire each other while we're here so that we can make 2020 our best year ever. So if you've got any success stories from the last week, anything from release the blog post on time to quit your job to made money or anything in between, go ahead and drop that also in the Q&A box. Just put success at the very beginning of it. Success, success, success. Okay.
So Paul wants to know if we are going to tell the story of when the package box was stolen from our house in the podcast. We actually didn't talk about that on the podcast. No.
Okay, hold on.
I don't think so.
Let me write that down. I'll put a special note here. We will record that for a podcast. We're going to do some solo shows pretty soon.
We did get it back, by the way.
What Paul's talking about is it's a couple weeks ago. We got out of our car and we looked over and our parcel box was gone. Like the big giant box like you put Amazon packages in. So
which is a whole other story in itself.
Anyway. Yeah, whatever. But like we came inside, we watched the video, and lo and behold, this dude just pulled up right in front of our house in a truck, looked left, looked right, and threw our entire parcel box back into his truck and drove away.
Didn't look in it to see if there was a dead body.
He was basically looking for packages at Christmas is what he was looking for. And he figured, hey, that's an easy target. I'll just grab the whole box and jerk it up and go, which was amazing watching him lift it because it was really heavy.
Yeah, it was heavy.
It was heavy. But so of course, being the internet marketing gurus that we are, we made him go viral. We shared that thing. We reached out to our network and we got this thing viewed thousands of times. The local TV show came and did a story about it, local TV news. And this guy was everywhere. And he basically came back to our house and knocked on the door and was like, and I knew it was him because we saw his truck out in the driveway. And he was freaking out trying to get us to take him off of Facebook because he apparently had warrants out for his arrest and stuff. And so basically, while this is happening, Jocelyn's talking to the sheriff. I'm calling I've got an uncle who's a constable, and the guy got arrested. So yeah, this bizarre story. I'll go into greater detail.
You really cannot make this. You can't make it up.
So then the news came and they interviewed us the news reporters showed up right after the guy was there. It was so bizarre. It was insane, but it was probably a hilarious story.
It was probably the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me.
It's one of the weirdest things that ever happened. So it was pretty cool. We got some local publicity. We had some Flip Flop style logos and stuff in the news because we're always going to push the brand. You got to push the brand. Okay.
We were drinking out of coffee cups.
Yeah, I just happened to be using my Flip Flop style coffee mug, right?
Which, by the way, had nothing in it.
Yeah, that's right. It was totally empty. And we're just like, oh, but then he came. Flip lifestyle. So that's how we do it. All right, always marketing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start. We're going to start on these questions today. If you have any more questions, go ahead and ask them in the Q&A. We do want to celebrate as many success stories as possible because we are super proud of you guys. So please put your success stories in the Q&A box as well. Discussion for the chat, and we are going to be off to the races. Okay. All right. So you can actually see the screen today, so you get.
Yeah.
All right. So let's edit this up here. All right. So next question.
All right, this question is from Alex. Alex says, how often do you recommend opening the doors to my membership? I get about 15,000 page views a month to my blog, and I have people signing up to my list daily. I currently have about 4,000 people on my list. I email them twice per week and sell smaller products regularly. I've opened the doors to my membership twice so far, and I have a handful of members.
You should have your doors open at all times. And you should promote different promotions every single week of the year. There's a lot of people have different opinions on memberships and when you should open the doors, when you should close the doors. We prefer to always keep the doors open and just mix up our promotions. So, for example, this morning on ushistoryteachers.com, I unleashed a $1 trial on the world. So the $1 trial is to get in for a month, and then it renews on the membership at the normal price, which is currently like $19 a month. and that's for history teachers, and they can access the lesson plans and all this stuff. So I started a dollar trial this morning. It's a Monday. It ends next Sunday, and it's going to go away for a while. It might be a month, it might be 2 months, whatever. But next week, I'm going to do something else. I might have a quarterly price that I open and close. Or the next week, I might have an annual price that I
Or
open and
a
close.
bonus that's for a limited time only.
Right. If you join now, you get all these resources, and you can keep them even if you don't renew. So what we like to do for scarcity and urgency is constantly have sales and open and close different promotions and market those every day. I mean, we like to email every day. You should be emailing your list at least 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and promote these things. Open it Monday, close it Friday. Open it Monday, close it Friday, and just roll through sale. Think about how department stores and things like that operate. Operate like that. Always keep your doors open. You want to give yourself a raise every day. Every time you get a new member, you get a raise. So don't close the doors. It's a little bit of a mistake. But you do need to open and close, and not like you can't just always have a dollar trial forever and always, and it's just there, right? Open and close that, take it away, shut it down for a minute, and then just promote something else the next week. The reason you have a huge list, 4,000 people is way too many people to have on a list and only have a handful of members. You are not being prolific and aggressive enough in your marketing. So open the doors, leave them open. I want you to map out 4 or 5 good offers. I'll give them to you right now. Do a dollar trial that renews in 30 days. Do a quarterly price that is a 33% discount, 1 month free. Do an annual price that's 40% off, and rotate through those every month. Throw in a holiday sale with anytime there's a holiday like Valentine's Day, or what's a holiday in January? Martin Luther King Day, whatever. Yeah. You can throw in there a bonus. Do what Jocelyn said. Add the bonus thing. There's 4 things. Rotate through them. Open and close them, and you'll get more members.
And you might say, like, well, what do I use as a bonus because I have a membership and my content's in there? Maybe you create something different. Maybe you've spoken at an event and you have a video of it. Use that as your bonus. Maybe you have maybe you can create a resource, or you can compile a list of resources. That's something that I used to do for elementary librarian, like the best iPad apps for libraries, and I would make that a bonus, things like that.
You can also let them keep something that's actually in there. So like sometimes what I'll do is just pull a resource out and be like, okay, look, it's for example, let's take Martin Luther King Day. I have a lesson plan about Martin Luther King Jr. So I could say, sign up now, get this, and keep it forever for free. So people would just get it and they get to keep that lesson, but all the other stuff would be locked away in the membership. So, all right, awesome stuff. We've got a success story here from that we want to celebrate today on today's member call from Svetlana. And she says, I overcame my fear of being an online entrepreneur. It just happened. Thank you. That's awesome.
Great.
We got to hang out with Svetlana live in Lexington, Kentucky at one of our live events. And man, that's awesome. You've been building your business, you've been doing your thing, and now you've overcome the fear of being an online entrepreneur. And I know that can be scary. We've got a friend of ours who is just reaching out to us, asking us about online business and things like that. Something totally new, something he's never even looked at before. And he's like, I'm terrified.
I'm kind of scared now.
Yeah, well, I'm still scared. But how did you do this? Let's share here what exactly you did. But I get what you're saying. You're just now becoming comfortable with the identity of like you are an entrepreneur. And that's kind of how, Jocelyn and I look at it now. No matter what happens, it's not that we did this. It's not that we tried this. It's we do this. Like this is the path we're on forever. We're going to be online entrepreneurs. And that's an awesome success story. So congratulations. Love overcoming those mindset challenges.
Click where it says answer live once we've done them, because it'll move it off there.
Did it? Does it? They had done?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
It keeps it neater.
All right, guys, make sure you put those success stories into the chat box, and we will any other questions that you may have. We've got a ton of questions today, so keep those coming. We'll take those on a first come, first serve basis, and we'll try to get all of them finished.
And if you've typed in the chat, I'm actually not on my computer today, so Shane and I are both sharing. So be sure to type it in the Q&A. It's a little thing down at the bottom. It says Q&A.
And also, too, if you guys are struggling with your marketing for January right now, if you don't really know what to do and you're not a subscriber to Prolific Monthly, my newsletter, the January edition is already out. But if anybody joins today, I'll drop a link in the chat box. And if you want to go ahead and get the calendar, it's only the 6th. So you got plenty of time going forward to get into the marketing. I can send you a digital copy of that today. Take care of your marketing for the rest of the month, and then you'll jump onto the print cycle in February. Got some awesome sales coming in February. I got some really cool ideas for Valentine's Day and some other stuff like that. So if you want to jump on to Prolific Monthly, I'm going to drop that link in real quick.
Super Bowl. It's in
And
February.
Super Bowl's coming up. That is actually that's in Prolific Monthly this month, Justin. The Super Bowl challenge is there, ready to go.
In January?
Well, yeah, I gave a bonus week in Prolific Monthly this month.
Clearly, I didn't read it very carefully.
You didn't read it. Justin didn't read it.
No, I did proofread it, but I don't know if I was paying attention.
Yeah, I went into February. Justin, come on now. Y'all pay attention. All this work I put into this stuff.
Sorry.
All right, I'm going to drop in a link to Prolific Monthly, and if anybody wants to sign up for that, I'll send you the digital copy today for January, even though the print copy's out, and then you'll be on the script for that. So let me put that in.
Hopefully, you'll read it more carefully than I did.
My proofreader didn't.
I did read it. Well, kind of. I mostly just look for errors. You know how I roll. Like I can see a typo from a mile away.
I know, right? All right, next question.
All right. This question is from Jennifer. Jennifer says, my email list is in a funk. When I have been emailing promotions for the past few months, the conversions are awful. I know it's bad timing for my business, which is schools, but it's getting frustrating. I'm not sure where I should go next since my email list is dead right now, or if I should just keep emailing promos and hope someone buys. And she says that she emails them weekly with other content, not just promo emails.
Okay. You know, email lists are cyclical for sure. They go up and down with the, different niches and different markets. I know that my open rates are definitely a little bit lower right now. That happens for sure, especially at the end of the year. People are just busy. They're off work. Open rates and conversions are going to drop at certain times of the year. Now, that doesn't mean we just roll over and give up. We got to get creative. So you might want to be a little more focused on the giving element. You might want to go maybe cut promos out just a little bit. Maybe you can promote things like webinars or live events, or where it feels like you're giving like a lot more value. You can do other things with your list. You can up your ad game. You can pull your email list off and really run more ads directly at that email list and reach those people in other platforms like Facebook, so you can remind them, hey, don't forget about me. You're on my email list. You may not be opening everything up. And also keep grinding. When this happens, guys, I usually put my head down and email more. That's when I see the email list is just not responding the way I want it to. I go crazy and I go all in. I make sure I'm emailing every day. I make sure I'm being prolific, and I just keep plowing ahead. And the nice thing you can do is go get more emails. Like, this might be a perfect opportunity for you to say, hey, I'm really crushing this list. I'm doing a good job, but it's a little down right now. I'm going to go run an ad campaign, and I'm going to go get 1,000 more emails, and then we'll start over with those people so that I can freshen up my list a little bit.
Yeah. So I had the same issue. Jennifer's in the education space, and when I did elementary librarian, of course, I was also in the education space. So the way that I dealt with this is to continue to give them value. I love the idea of doing a webinar / training. I always called it training for teachers. Something that, is just total value. They can come live. Right. And that's an opportunity for them to know, like, and trust you, which means that you could possibly more easily pitch them. There's a couple of different angles that you can go with. One that I did, it says the internet connection's unstable.
Yeah, it says that, but it should still record it either way, and then we can edit it later.
All right, let me think of what I was saying.
You just said value in the live thing.
Oh.
Tell us if the internet's going out, guys. We just had an internet unstable warning.
Okay. This is
cool.
Good.
Brennan says cool.
All right. One thing that I did is I put out half a year of lessons, because what you have to do is you have to meet people where they are. Teachers in the middle of the year, they might not want to do a full year because, it's halfway through the year. But what I did is I packaged it in a smaller package and said, hey, you can have half the year for X dollars. Another angle to go for schools right now is that a lot of times schools have to spend their money by a certain date. So, you could throw out there, hey, I accept purchase orders, and I know that most schools have to spend their money by
May or whatever.
Whenever it is. Ours was in like February or something. So I would maybe go at it from that angle too.
So just give them a new opportunity, basically, like it's something new. Like, if you keep saying the same thing over and over, they're going to become a little ad blind to it, right? So shake it up. You've got to shake it up. Also too, This is something crazy that I do sometimes when my email list is not working. I go and do some research on crazy, shocking, weird headlines that have nothing to do with the content that's inside my email. And I mean, I'm talking insane stuff that you would never write in your subject lines, and do like a week or two of just shocking your list. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go find some crazy things. Like, find a news story about some teacher that did something insane in class, and just send them that. Send them, or go get a meme of something that's just totally hilarious and like totally offbeat, and make the subject line, crazy walrus juggles on unicycle or whatever, and just like go with that and just shock your list into opening those things again, so they get the next couple things of value, but like make it relevant. Like, I'll send a meme about teachers. Like this morning, we took a picture of our dog who was sleeping in the back seat, and I put every teacher on the way to school after Christmas break, right? And I'm going to email the list that meme just to shake them up and make them laugh and share that with them, and try to just mix it up a little bit. So you've got to do things to kind of shock the system. You got to add new people, and you've got to give different promotions, like Jocelyn's saying, if you're going to get like more attention.
Yeah, this is also a good opportunity to use testimonials. Like, you can use some testimonials in your email and say, hey, this person, they used my lessons and, they got great results. Here's a freebie for you. And that's a super soft sell. Like, you don't even necessarily have to ask them to buy. Just say, this person used it. Here's something cool for free that's relevant. And, oh, P.S., do you want to learn more about this? Click here.
So you could do like a second opt-in strategy. What Jocelyn's saying to do is send an email, and the email's giving something free. Make them opt in for it again when they get to the page, and then you can trigger sales emails beyond that. So just stop selling for a minute, maybe a month, and just give a ton of stuff away for free. Do some live stuff, do some different promotions, and shock the system.
So if what you're doing is not working, change it up. Find a way to make it relevant.
And everyone here needs to hear this. New eyeballs fix everything. Like, on Thursdays in January, I'm working on lead funnels, like new lead funnels for Flip Lifestyle. But just new eyeballs. New eyeballs fix everything. The more new eyeballs you get, all that old stuff starts working again, right? And then you can start the new thing. All right, guys. I got the hiccups, so I'm hiccuping right now. But great questions today so far. Let's see. Where was I thought I saw another success story. All right.
Yeah, I think Fred had one, but I don't.
He did.
See it.
There's fun on. So if I hit answer live and hit done, it goes away. Okay. All right. Our next success story is from Paul. Paul got to 48 members. 50 was his goal for 2019. That's up from 25.
That's awesome.
Just a couple months ago, and 50 was his goal. So he's only 2 members away from his next milestone. So good job, Paul.
We're only 6 days in, so
yeah, you're only 6
days
still good. You're going to crush that, dude. It's going to be amazing. Awesome stuff. Got a couple more success stories. I'm going to save those for later. If you have a success story, something you're really proud of that's going on in your business, celebrate that with the community. Go ahead and put that in the Q&A box. If you do have any questions, go ahead and drop those in right now. Also, too, if you're struggling with your January marketing, guys, I dropped a link. You have to type it in, but it's www.prolificmonthly.com. We've already mailed out the January issue, but I can get you a digital copy if you sign up today, so that you can have a map, a roadmap, a plan for all of your marketing in January. Someone signed up the other day, and I sent it to them, and they said it was a new subscriber. It was funny. About 4 Q&As ago, his name's Steve. He asked a question. Steve might be here. I don't know. But Steve asked a question, and I told him, don't subscribe to Prolific Monthly. Go get enough members to pay for it. Because he was asking me, I got $100 a month. I can either spend it on ads or I can spend it on Prolific Monthly. And I said, you know what, dude? Go spend it on the ads. And when you make enough money in your membership to afford this with the members that you get from the ads, you can you subscribe to Prolific Monthly. Well, he subscribed this month, and he sends me this message. He goes, oh my gosh, if I had just signed up for this and I got the members faster. And he said, I can't imagine how much work goes into creating this calendar. So check it out, www.prolificmonthly.com. It's only the 6th. There's 2 or 3 great opportunities for getting more members in January. If your sales are a little slow right now, check that out. I'll send you a digital copy today for January, and you'll be right back in to the print cycle for Prolific Monthly. So it's www.prolificmonthly.com. I can get you a digital copy for January out right now if you subscribe today. Okay. All right. So we see. Now we're going to answer this one. Done. That was part of her question too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Done. And okay, we'll go next question.
Okay, this question is from Kathy. Kathy says, I'm feeling like I hit a plateau of members. New members are simply replacing ones who leave. I email my list every week, post on social media daily, do Facebook Lives once a week, have 3 webinars a week, and I just did a big back to school sale. The next sale will be at the end of January for the Super Bowl. Do you have any ideas or thoughts of how to push past this?
So usually when you hit a plateau, there's a couple things you can do for it, especially in a monthly membership. The first one is raise your prices. I know that's counterintuitive a little bit, but raising your prices lets you send a threatening email to your email list that says, I'm going to raise prices next month. Now, remember, you can always mitigate a price increase later. If the price doesn't work, you can always change it back. If when you do the price increase, you can offer discounts like on a quarterly price to make it kind of like similar to what it was before, get more money up front, annuals. But a price increase is a great way to shake up your email list. Okay. You can say, hey, it's $19 a month today. It's going to be $29 a month in 72 hours. But if you get in now, I'll lock you in forever and you don't have to worry about it. So that's a great way to get ahead of churn. Another thing is to offer trials. If you're not doing any kind of trials, maybe a 7-day trial for $1, a free trial, that's a way to shake out more members. We just did some data. We've sold over 1,000 trials, either dollar trials or free trials in Flip for Flip Lifestyle. And we went back over all this data over the last couple of years, and we realized that dollar trials were really, really profitable, like insane lifetime value, really high quality customer, almost sold as good as the free trials. So I actually just launched in ushistoryteachers.com was actually in a plateau too, Kathy. And I just launched a dollar trial. And as of this morning, in like the first hour of the trial, we had 15 new members. And if we keep 60% of those, that's going to be, awesome revenue boost. And I've still got 5 more days left before that closes. So trials are a really good way to shake up members. And kind of like we were talking about earlier on a prior question, you might need to go to a lead strategy. It might be time to grow your list again, right? This list might be getting a little stale, might be getting a little used to your offers and your opportunities. Might be time to reinvest some of that money from the membership that you're making back into the company so that you can get more emails on your list, because new people means new opportunities to sell stuff.
Yeah, I would definitely try to meet people where they are, come up with some type of either a bonus or, some type of new offer that tells people, hey, I know that you're in the middle of the school year or, whatever it is for your audience. And here's what I've come up with for you, that type of thing. Sometimes this happens,
Plateaus are going to happen. They're just going to happen.
but
right?
the other thing that you can do is you can also start focusing on retention. So try to keep the people who are already paying
Ooh, that's a
longer.
good idea.
And so one way of doing that, if you're not already doing this, is to send out a long-term nurture sequence for those members. It's something that I'm working on for our membership. And basically, you just send them an email every day, or I'm sorry, every week or every 2 weeks or whatever you decide to do. And it basically just says, hey, here is a resource of the week. Check it out. And basically, it's stuff that they already have access to anyway, but it's just a little reminder to them that, hey, we're still here. We still have lots of cool resources for you. Don't leave.
If you extend lifetime value, Kathy, by 1 month, you will start growing again. If you are replacing churn right now and everyone suddenly stays 1 month longer, then that means you're going to be able to start growing again. You're going to be profitable, right? So focus on retention, do that. Another thing too is, guys, listen, sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves and open your wallet. Go buy ads and do 2 webinars a week for the next 12 weeks and you will grow again. Do one on Sunday night and Thursday night. Like, do it. Like, if you want your business to grow, then just say, I am committed to doing the same webinar every Sunday and Thursday for the next 12 weeks. And I promise you, you will get new members. If you send it out and show up and people come and you pitch and you sell on those webinars, that new thing, just saying, hey, I'm going to do this every Sunday night and every Thursday night for the next 12 weeks, you will grow again, right? So go buy some ads, send it to webinars, and do webinars for 12 weeks every Sunday and Thursday night, and you'll grow. You'll get more people. You could even pitch trials and stuff on those webinars. Like, if you want to really blow it up, like, put a $1 trial in, and at the end of the webinar, pitch that. Hey, you only got to sign up. It's $1. If you don't like it, cancel. Like, that's an easy pitch. And if you do that prolifically twice a week for 12 weeks, you'll blow it up. You might get, 10 members a week That means that's 40 new members a month. That's 120 new members in the next 12 weeks.
It's worth a try.
It's worth a try. So roll up your sleeves, open your wallet, and force people to see you, and get some more emails. You'll be fine. All right, great questions today, guys. If you've got any questions, we are doing them in the order they are received. We've got a bunch of questions here already. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in there. Don't forget also to share your success stories, guys. We want to celebrate those successes. A lot of great things happening in the Flip Your Life community, and we want to make sure that everybody knows all the hard work that you are putting in as well, okay? But right now, we are going to hit back to get our next question.
Okay, this question is from Svetlana. She says, does having a sign-up button on each page look good for a wellness website? I feel like a good car salesman or saleswoman. My business is teaching people to breathe, and I added a sign-up button everywhere. Thank you.
Yes. You have to be seen to sell. Every page on your site should have a sign-up button.
Yeah, never a bad idea to have lots of reminders to people that you have something for sale on your site.
We have, if you go to our website at fliplifestyle.com or any of our other websites that we have, you will find a Join Now button at the top. You will find a sign-up button and an opt-in in the sidebar, and the end of every single blog post and page has an ad for our membership. So, if you land on our site and you don't scroll, there you are. If you land on our blog and you're flipping through the sidebar, you can join. If you read the entire blog post all the way down to the bottom, you get to join there again. And then if you reach up to the back button to leave our website, a pop-up is going to jump in your face and ask you to join the community, right? So yes, you've got to have sales, but you don't want it to be hard. You don't ever want someone to say, man, I'd like to learn more here. Where's a buy button? I'd love to buy something from these people, but
yes, I've had that happen before. On like health websites, not exactly your kind of health, like health and fitness. There have been times that I'll find people's sites and I'll be like, oh, this information is really interesting. I wonder if they sell anything, and I can't even figure it out. So definitely having opportunities to sell is a good thing. I wanted to kind of tag on to something that you were saying a minute ago, that a lot of people don't realize, or I guess they don't think about, is that you can have ads to your own stuff on your own site.
Yeah.
So you can make a little image that says, hey, check this out, cool product over here, click here now. And, a lot of times people think, oh, well, I can't do that for my own stuff. Like I have to do that for somebody else's. No, create an image and link it to your own product.
That's all we do. We never send people off site to other people's cash registers unless we're getting a commission. So make sure you are, sell everywhere, sign up everywhere, have ads everywhere for your stuff. And, go ask random people who know nothing about what you do to look at your website and say, you have 5 seconds to figure out how to buy something from me. Go. And then make sure that they can do it so that you can make sure you're making those sales. Okay. All right. Great question today. Awesome questions. Got some, let's see, make sure we didn't have any success stories in between the break there.
That one at the bottom?
Oh, perfect. All right, we've got another success story from Flip Your Life community member Dan. And I say Dan, I call him Dan because Dan's a jokester. And in our email list, instead of putting his name Dan wrote DAAAAAAAAN. So whenever I send an email out to the community, it would say Dan. So love you, Dan. All right. Dan says, I sent an email this morning and immediately got 2 sales for my class.
Yeah.
And 1 angry person who accused me of not loving my kids. That's what I like to hear. Hey, listen, if you get a little fire, you get a little hate with the love,
yes,
it just makes you go that much harder.
If you don't have people bringing the hate, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
so
that's absolutely amazing.
Bring on the haters.
Yeah, we had a hater on one of our pages the other day, and it was unbelievable. There's just this tirade of F-bombs and craziness and psychoticness. And I just went, yeah, banhammer. That was funny. That was a good laugh later. All right. So awesome stuff. Good job, Dan.
Yeah. And I'm actually shocked because Shane posted like a meme picture of our dog this morning. So she would, if you weren't here earlier, she was.
A meme or a meme?
Meme.
Oh, I can't hear. I'm sorry.
So anyway, she was sitting, we had taken the kids to school and the dogs had gone with us, and she was sitting up in one of the back seats of the van. and there's an armrest, and she had her head over on the armrest like asleep. And we thought it was cute, so Shane took a picture of it, thought he'd make it a meme. But I can't wait until later
Oh
today
yeah, we'll
because
get hate mail.
yeah, I'm sure people are gonna be like, that is so mean to
Your
that
pet
dog.
is in a car and it's not in a cage with a seatbelt on. Like, what are you? You're the worst pet owners ever. Like, we will get hate.
Oh yeah, I
that,
can't wait.
for sure. So you know what though?
There was already somebody who gave it an angry face.
They gave it an angry face for real.
I'm sure that's why.
Yeah, awesome.
We love our dogs.
We love the hate. I love the hate. I love the haters.
We love our dogs.
So good job, Dan. So lo and behold, guys, you send an email, you make money. Isn't that amazing? Everyone who is listening to my voice right now, you should send an email today so that you can go make some money online. That's all you gotta do. Send an email, something new, something crazy, and make it happen.
And don't worry about the haters, Dan. We know you love your kids.
That's right. Yeah, I've seen Dan with his kids, and I know he loves his children.
Okay.
All right, let's go with this question here next.
All right, this question is from Fred. Fred says, I'm working on videos for my core product. Do you have any advice on making those easier, making them look better, etc.?
The biggest thing I've got with videos for courses and core products is make sure the audio is good and get them recorded. Like, design doesn't matter as much as you think it does. And everything doesn't have to be beautiful and pretty and perfect to get your course done. Like, it can't get, look what we're doing right now. We have Zoom. We're talking to you. We're going to use this content in the community. We're going to cut this up and make it into podcasts. We're going to put it on YouTube. Some of the questions, if they're really, really good questions, we might use some of the success stories in testimonial videos. Like, we are recording into a microphone with good audio. We have no lighting in this room right now. We're sitting in front of a big open window.
But we are sitting in front of natural light.
That's right. That's right. So you can see us, you can talk to us, you can hear us good. That's all that matters, man. So yeah, the done is better than good. Bad done is better than good in your head, right? And you can't worry about this design stuff. You just have to look in the camera and talk and be finished.
Fred, you're like very fortunate. Actually, all of us are right now, because this is the age of DIY video. I mean, that's where it's at. That's what. Oh gosh, I sound so old. That's what all the kids are doing these days.
Over on the TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
But they really are.
Over on that TikToks. It's like the Walmarts. You know what I'm saying? The TikToks.
But they really are. I mean, that's what people are doing. That's all the rage right now. I will say, if you sell B2B, I think it's a little more important that your videos are super professional. But if you're selling business to consumer, then by all means, like, what we're doing right now is fine. We have a laptop computer propped up on a tic-tac-toe game.
Yeah, look at this. Hold on, you'll see this? Let me show you this.
This is where it's sitting.
All right, it's sitting on a tic-tac-toe board game to give us a little height. And
we're sitting in front of a big window. So, we got lots of natural light coming in, and we have good sound quality. These microphones, Audio Technica,
we've had them since the beginning.
ATR 2100.
I'll never change out of spite. I will never upgrade to a $600 Heil. I will not do it. We've always viewed Flip Lifestyle as like the everyman brand. Like, we want to do things that you could do. Like, these cost $50 each. This little gadget right here that we plug into, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i4, was like $150. And this is what we use to record all of our stuff, man. You're not going to see me putting in fancy graphics or nothing
just
like
use
that.
the technology that's available to you. Like, there are teleprompter apps for iPads. Like, you could even, if it's something that's really long, like a training video or something, you could use one of those apps and put it up on your video, whatever's holding your video camera.
So Prolific Monthly, my newsletter, to give you an example of this, like, Prolific Monthly right now is on pace next year or this year to become a 6-figure business. It's going to generate 6 figures in revenue this year. It's only 6 months old, right? And guys, all of the marketing on that page right now, every video, every picture, I took with my iPhone. I typed the thing. I create that in Google Slides, which is free. I lay it out in the form of pages. It's Google Slides. I use Google Slides and a phone and my brain to type out the sales page. I took the pictures. I recorded a video of me walking to the mailbox and getting it out.
And actually running into the door.
Yeah, like I've got this video that, I'm going to put a commercial out this month. So I walked out to the thing all slow, and I opened it and reached in, and I saw it, and then I ran like this. Like, when I filmed myself holding Prolific Monthly, did an unboxing and started flipping through it. All done with an iPhone Pictures, video, Google Slides is how I create.
So when you go to the website, you'll see a picture of Shane like getting the issue out of the mailbox, which he took a selfie in front of our mailbox at our office.
Yep. So guys, this is not complicated. Anyone, listen, I would actually be willing to bet that anyone could get to $100,000 a month just using an iPhone and not even using a microphone on a podcast. I bet you could record it on your I got a buddy. He has a growing podcast and a growing membership. He's in the Flip Your Life community, and he records his podcast with iPhone, iPod, AirPods, and his phone. And he has a growing podcast. Is doing really well. He's getting members every single day. He literally just records his podcast with AirPods. So you guys don't focus so much on the particulars. Like, who cares if it looks better? It's not done. It doesn't. You know why? It can't look better because it doesn't exist, brother. Like you can't make something better until it exists.
And just remember that
it exist first.
That your first product isn't necessarily the last. Like, we are always innovating and changing things and updating, and
innovating by getting new iPhones to record videos on.
No, we haven't done that in years.
No, we're still using we're using the X. I refuse to get the 11. This thing's gonna work.
So yeah, just do it. Get it done.
Done. Okay. You don't get all right. That's a new rule in the Flip Your Life community. If you can't make things better until you make things, right? So if you've got a course that someone has bought, then you are allowed to think about making it better. Until you have a course that is finished that someone has bought, you are not allowed to think about the word better. You have to think about the word done. Get it done. That's what we're doing right now. It would be like writing a book. Handwrite it if you don't have a typewriter, and then use the typewriter until you get a computer. Like, make the thing happen. I don't care what you got to do. Just get it finished. All right, cool. All right. Awesome questions today, guys. Keep them coming. We're loving answering your questions. Got a ton of great questions here coming in. And make sure I don't have any success stories posted right now.
Sorry about all the coughing. I don't know what's going on.
It's a little dry here. A little dry. Got some awesome discussion going on in the chat room right now, guys. If you don't have your chat box open, people are sharing what they're using for microphones and to film and to do all that stuff too, okay? So a lot of great discussion going on.
I'm trying to get my doggie to come into the picture, but she won't.
She's not cooperating. All right, let's go to our next question.
All right. This question is from Crystal. She says, I've been looking into outsourcing. Do you have any suggestions? I've done a little bit on Fiverr, but I haven't yet found the right person. I'm also considering hiring a virtual assistant, and I made a posting on onlinejobs.ph the other day, and I haven't gotten any applications yet. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to hiring outside help or what I should be looking to spend. I promised all my members that I will be releasing one new course per week for the next year, and it is taking up way more time than I ever anticipated. But I know how important it is to get that weekly content out.
Okay, go to Upwork.com. It's a bigger marketplace for one thing. Like, it would probably be easier to find freelancers and virtual assistants, and you can sort by country, so you can find people in countries that are a little bit cheaper. The biggest thing is, like, don't outsource work you don't want to do. Outsource work that frees you up to do things that only you can do, right? This is a mistake that we made early. This is a mistake that a lot of people make early. Like, don't just outsource something because it's hard or you don't like it. Like, if it truly gives you time back, not time back to live and do whatever you want, but time back to go grow the business and do things, then you hire stuff out. But if it doesn't, just keep grind through and just go market better, right? Sometimes you just got to hang on to the stuff and do it. Okay. Now, hiring is hard. You're going to have to go through trial and error. We've went through a lot of trial and error in the last 2 years. And we're just now, I think, 2-3 years after we hired our first person ever, we're just now figuring out what we want, let alone how to make it work. Okay. So hiring is really, really hard. And if you're just outsourcing some production stuff, like some editing and things like that, that's fine. Now, as for the courses, stop trying to make giant PowerPoints and edit them perfect. A training is you talking into the camera, or a Q&A like this. Like, if you've got something you want to teach people, Crystal teaches about online education. She helps people with instructional design and things like that. Like, if you're doing a screen capture or showing people how to use software or showing people how to do that, turn the camera on, show them your screen, do it, come back on the screen and say, and that's your training for this week, and just put that in there unedited. You don't have to make these things absolutely perfect. if you're promising, and also too, I mean, I don't know why that's really ambitious trying to release a new course every single week of an entire year. I would say a new course a month should be good enough, plus maybe Q&As. So I think you've kind of gotten a little ambitious there in
And
what you're trying to produce.
I wonder if you haven't tried to do too much. So I'm wondering if you're doing like a 50-minute training or something. Like what you could do is break these into modules. So module 1 is presented this week, module 2 is presented this week. And here's a little pro tip. Do it all in one day. Like do 5 in a day and just change clothes, change hairstyles. We do this all the time.
So you could basically have like an hour course and split it into 6 10-minute modules.
Yeah, and you say, hey, the next part is coming next week. If you missed the first one, you can find it here.
Yeah, and like, because I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody going to watch 52 courses. Nobody in your community is going to be able to watch 52 30 to hour-long minute courses and do it every single week. You might get 5% of your community doing that. So you're really creating it's actually why we don't do Q&As every week in the Flip Your Life community. We tried that for a while, and we overwhelmed people with information and opportunities to come, and it actually hurt numbers. The questions got bad. People were overwhelmed. It's why we went to we were releasing a lot of podcast content there for like 2 or 3 months, just testing numbers to see if it would help our downloads and iTunes rankings and stuff. And we actually got emails, and people were like, stop creating so much content. I can't keep up with the podcast anymore. I liked it when it was once a week. And like, so you can't overwhelm people. It's really not good to do that for it's not going to serve your members better to give them all that content. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to help you because you're going to get burnt out trying to do this every single week. And you could just spend one Saturday doing what Jocelyn said and create 4 15-minute modules and schedule them and actually let people have some bite-sized chunks that they could go do.
People don't want to watch an hour-long training anyway. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing necessarily, but I suspect that may be what you're doing. So people like bite-sized things to begin with. So I would just do it that way. Batch as much as you can. I like the idea of getting someone to help you with some of the nuts and bolts. I'm going to say a couple of things about getting VAs or, people to help you with different things. The first one is that I prefer to search for people and invite them to my job rather than just putting a job description out there and letting just anybody apply, because people will apply that don't have the right qualifications. You'll have to wade through all this junk to find the people who are actually a good fit for the job.
So at Upwork.com, you can search for video.
You can search for very specific things.
Or whatever.
Yeah, like you can search for Infusionsoft, like. You can search for coding, whatever it is that you need help with. You can search for the exact tools and find people who are really good fits. I always just go and invite those people to my job. And I've had a lot better success with that than just getting anyone to apply. The other thing I was going to say is to look at the United States, because I have noticed actually some friends of mine in the online business space, we were talking about this the other day. There's a trend right now with online VA work, like people from the Philippines asking for like American wages. And here's the thing, it's like when we had people from the Philippines working with us, they were wanting to get paid more. And we're like, look, if we are going to pay you like Americans, then we'll just pay Americans.
Yeah, because we can actually meet Americans in person. Like the goal is to save money. Their economy is different. So it's not like you're paying people less. The money works out the same based on where they are, what they're buying, and things like that. But you can buy people local just as cheap. And I also, too, Crystal, you have not been in business very long. I do not think you should be outsourcing at all. Like, and you really shouldn't be outsourcing, guys, until you can afford to. If you can afford to hire somebody local for $15 an hour up to 20 hours a week, that's probably the threshold you need to start thinking about doing the work. But we only have a very, very, very tiny team right now, and we create a lot of stuff. So I'm not even. Sometimes there's a temptation to be like, spend this money, do more things, but like what you're doing is working without people. So I'm not exactly. If you're wanting to outsource something like video editing or something,
I don't have a problem with that.
Go hire somebody for $50 on Upwork or Fiverr and just do it. But like, go actually just pick someone, like Jocelyn said. Don't put a job posting. Just be like, I need a podcast editor, podcast editing. Click that guy there. Here, upload the file, edit it, send it back to me.
But for
Like
something
one-off
like that,
jobs.
even check around locally. Like we have someone locally who's editing our podcast right now. So that could be an option too. And, just remember that, there are different people to do different roles, and like just look in the United States, because we have found several different people to do our stuff, and it's a lot more reasonably priced than you would think.
Yeah. Get to set that 100-member goal to 200-member goal before you guys start hiring. Anyone can grow a business to 100 members paying X dollars a month by yourself. Okay. And don't just outsource for the sake of outsourcing, to just get rid of busy work. And don't outsource just so you can add more work for yourself. Like, and here's a quick way to handle the membership area thing where you promised everybody 52 months a year. Like, I would bet that 90% of your members never saw the email where you promised to do 52 weeks a year of training. So you might want to send a quick email out that says, hey guys, I've decided to create higher quality trainings split into modules. So we're going to have one training a month split into weekly modules to make sure you can take more action. And that'll give you a good segue into changing it up. Like, you didn't commit yourself to a year for anything, right? So just go ahead and change that, and you can do that too. All right, guys, we got some awesome questions here. We're going to be finishing up. Looks like we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6, 7 more questions left. And keep putting those success stories in. We'd love to celebrate that. What's going good in your business? What's going good in your life right now? We want to make sure we celebrate all of those successes. Want to remind everybody again to sign up for Prolific Monthly, my print newsletter. If you're struggling with your marketing right now, if you don't know what to do every single day, my marketing newsletter has a calendar in it that tells you exactly what to do. We got some Prolific Monthly subscribers here in the room right now. It's changing people's businesses, taking people to the next level. And the print copy for January is already out, but I can send you a digital copy for the rest of this month so you can take advantage of all the awesome marketing opportunities coming up. We got the Super Bowl. We got a lot of good ideas in there. Jocelyn had 5 or 6 different ideas inside of this month's edition. We'll send that out to you, get your digital copy, and you'll be ready to get your print copy on February 1st so that you can take advantage of all the awesome marketing opportunities in. So www.prolificmonthly.com will get you there. And I'll send you a digital copy this afternoon. I'll get on here right after the call, send that out. So you got a marketing calendar, you got a day-to-day to-do list, you got Jocelyn's ideas, and we'll get that out to you to make sure you can make some money this month. That's www.prolificmonthly.com. Sign up for my print newsletter. It is not included with the Flip Your Life Community membership. It's totally separate. We put a lot of work into this thing. Like Jocelyn can attest, I am sitting there working on this, thinking about this for weeks at a time to make sure that everybody can take advantage of it. So check that out, www.prolificmonthly.com.
All right, we're going to have to rapid fire some of these. I started this intermittent fasting stuff, and I'm starving.
Dalton's hungry, y'all.
Okay. Let's see. This question is from Tanya. What would be the benefit of doing a 5-day challenge versus doing a webinar? How do you run these without them being overwhelming?
The biggest benefit, I think, is just it's a different promotion. Like, you have to mix up your promotions. You got to mix it. Like, people get blind. Like, if you can do a webinar every week. I do that. But like, every once in a while doing a challenge just gives somebody something new to join, something maybe they didn't hear of before. Or, there might be 10% of your list will come to a webinar. Maybe another 10% will do a challenge. So maybe another 10% will just take a $1 trial. Maybe another 10% will do something else. So you got to give people kind of alternatives.
Yeah, there's a certain percentage of the population who will respond better to a challenge. I'm actually one of those people. I like to challenge myself with different numbers of things. So like, for instance, in 2018 and 2019, I challenged myself to work out 300 out of 365 days of the year. It's just something I like to do. So there are some people out there who will be like, yeah, challenge, let's do it.
Jocelyn just signed us up for an intermittent fasting challenge,
which I'm sure Shane will complete like
I hate challenges.
one day of.
I do not like challenges. I like to show up, get that webinar in, get out. You know what I'm saying? And no commitment.
But
I don't like anybody telling me what to do or being committed to anything.
Yeah, and I would say
Jocelyn tells me what to do, and I'm committed to her.
Yes, so I do. I would say though, there is a certain percentage of the population who, like me, they just prefer to do things like that. So, just offer different ways to get involved. Like, it never hurts to have additional ways to give you money, right?
How should she do them without being overwhelming?
So again, this is just bite-sized stuff. I think a lot of times we as entrepreneurs think that we have to provide so much value all the time for free. You don't have to do that. Provide little bits of value, let people get a small win, and tell them, hey, if you want more, here's where you can find it, my paid community.
And I also find that people like that you're teaching something to, or that you're guiding through a challenge, we vastly overestimate what people we're teaching can do. Because I was on a coaching call this morning with a new Voxer one-on-one coaching client, and I was telling them what their 12-week plan looked like. And I thought, oh, I could do this in 12 weeks. So I wrote it down, and they were like, man, that's really overwhelming. And I was like, okay, well, let's just do this. And basically what would take me a week might take them a month. So that's kind of like a good general translation rule. Write down what you think people can do in a week. Like, let's say you write a 5-day challenge. Write down what you think people can do in 5 days. Then remove 4 of the days. Take the first day and divide that into 5. And now you probably have your challenge. That's going to not be overwhelming for people. And then you can sell them the other stuff. But people go slower than you think they do. Like, we have people in the community, you know, they've been going 2 years and they have like 1 class a month. Like, I'm going to come up with my idea this month. Next month, I'm going to think about my customer. The third month, I'm going to think about my product. And then it's going to take me fourth and fifth and sixth month to make the product. So even though you can do it faster, you're going to overwhelm people because you're the expert. You're supposed to do it faster. You got to slow down and not let them be overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's like this thing that we're doing right now. It's driving me crazy because this is like a prep week, and then next week we actually start. And I'm like, no, I'm actually starting today. So anyway.
So that's how it works. So, you know, just divide it up, think it out, and then don't rely solely on challenges either. You need to mix it up. We haven't done a challenge in forever. I don't think, have we ever done a challenge for Food Lifestyle? I think we did an idea challenge or something like that.
Yeah, I think we've done it about a time or two.
Yeah, we need to do more of those. All right, next question.
All right, this question is from Brendan. He says, I've watched both video lessons on memberships, which are super helpful. Everyone should watch them.
All caps, super helpful, by the way.
I have about 200 members so far, 10% of my list size, but they bought lifetime memberships, one price. I'm opening the doors again in October 2020, focusing on current member success until then, and would love to hear your thoughts on monthly versus annual pricing for this grand opening. Which pricing would you launch with? I think you already answered this, but would love to hear your thoughts.
We really prefer to sell monthlies, like, as much as possible. So almost all of our public stuff is either trials or monthly memberships. And then we like to upsell people into the annuals. Because like if you know your lifetime value is $297, right? But your membership's $49 a month and you can charge $497 for an annual, you can increase sales just by upselling monthly members into annuals because you'll get more lifetime value every time someone does that. And for us, it's just really a lot easier to sell a monthly membership. And we like the way monthly memberships play out. If I've got 200 members that are paying $50 a month, that's $10,000 a month. And if the average member stays 6 months, I can predict into the future based on my lifetime numbers, this should be what we're making for the next 6 months. So I can go hire that person. I can spend X dollars on ads and not have to worry so much about the variance. If you're selling annuals, you sell annuals this month and the next month you may not sell any. So
However,
that can be a problem. But it does give you more money up front, for sure.
I think that you should have it available because there will be a certain number of people who will be like, hey, if I buy this in an annual plan, like, will you give me a discount? And so if people ask, I would make it available. I would make it available.
It's on our sales page.
In the funnel.
Yeah, we have it available on our sales page.
So when people send an email, or when you send people emails as part of joining your list, it could definitely invite them to become an annual member. And another thing I want to know from you, Brendan,
don't sell lifetimes, though.
Yeah,
lifetime memberships, only in rare instances in certain high dollar niche markets do we recommend that. Because you're promising the world for somebody forever and you're only getting paid once.
Yeah, so. And it's a pain in the rear. We have made this mistake before, so we can tell you. But what's done is done. You can't go back and change it now. But what you can do is provide an updated offer down the road to those people who took that lifetime plan.
Yeah, you need a second tier or another thing. Like, for example, we have the Flip Your Life community. We also now have Prolific Monthly, our marketing newsletter, which is a totally different thing. It's a little bit higher end. It's a little bit, it's designed for people who have those, if you've got basically 25 members and a little bit of an audience going there, that's what it's kind of for. It's for people who are really like blowing it up with the audience and their membership. And it's designed to help them market every day. Like that's a second tier. It's a second offer. So if I had sold 200 lifetime memberships to Flip Lifestyle, our Flip Your Life community, I could go back now and say, hey, 200 members that already gave me money and like to give me money, I've got this new thing that's $50 a month. Do you want to join it? So you might want to have like a second tier. I know you do SEO and stuff, so you just have to work out what that looks like, right? Maybe it is print newsletters are awesome. I love print newsletters. Like that's a cool thing you can offer to people. It's really just go down to your local print shop and ask the guy if he can send them out for you, and they usually can. And like that can be something you can charge, 99, like the SEO report, right? And you could send it out. It probably cost you $10 to get it to them. You charge 99, you make 90. So like, there's a lot of things you can do you need to maximize your buyers list and create new offers for them, along with opening and closing on that monthly and yearly. But don't sell anybody else a lifetime plan. Don't do that. Like, again, if that's only for people who can get like $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 up front to be able to sell those lifetime memberships. And I don't recommend many people do that.
And on that note, go right now and change your terms and conditions to make it say the lifetime of the product. We have learned that lesson.
Yeah, for sure. So add another tier. I would actually challenge you, before even thinking about this monthly annual thing, your buyers are your most important people. They've already given you money, right? You need something else they can buy. Maybe they have lifetime access to courses and stuff. You could just add an office hours tier for $75 a month, and you just show up once a week to answer questions to those lifetime members, right?
So the ones who have already paid, they get the courses, but they don't get that live Q&A type thing.
You could probably resell 50 to 100 of those people on another monthly offer, if you would just create something and give it to them.
Oh, and P.S., like, this is a huge success story. I mean,
my gosh. Yeah, that's amazing.
We met
dude.
Brendan in September. Was it September? No, it was July.
July. Over at
Well, anyway, we met him this past summer.
In person.
And
we've known each other in Facebook groups.
I don't think that he had any members. Like, I'm pretty sure.
How many members
did you have?
Tell me in the chat, how many members did you have back in the
I don't think he had a membership, but correct me if I'm wrong, Brendan. I don't know.
Either way, 200 members is awesome.
Now,
we just need them paying. We need 200 people paying you every month.
And we can work it out. I promise.
We can work it out. Yeah. I'd love to talk about. Hit me up. We'll talk about it. Hit me up in the community, and we'll talk about reselling those 200 members. I bet you could create an offer in 30 days and have 50 members paying $100 a month. Okay.
All right.
All right. Next question.
All right, this question is from Simone. She says, I'm almost ready to launch my membership. Is it okay not to have an order page? I have the Stripe subscription plugin, and it just pops up on the Stripe order form from the options page.
It depends how much the Stripe order forms let you edit. I use straight order forms. What I do is I always have a sales page that goes to an options page, because I want to create momentum. It just says, click here to get this. Click options page, monthly or annually. Click, and now an order form pops up. So I think that would be fine. I'd say their order forms are probably pretty standard. I do like to stick a testimonial and maybe a little graphic work on my order forms. We want them to look nice, But I think that's probably fine. Just make sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You got a nice solid sales page. You can go into the Flip Your Life community. And we have a course on sales pages. We have a 21-point checklist on that lets you do that on your sales page. Make sure you have all of that happening. And then once you do that, hi, Coco. Our dog just entered the room. Make sure you have all those done. Make sure you have an options page, monthly or annually. And once they click the order form, at that point, just get their information, as fast as possible. So here's another tip for order forms too. Get as much information as possible when you're doing it. Some people I've noticed lately in the community, they have been coming in and they've just been asking for like the credit card number and the name. Well, there's some bad reasons why you shouldn't do that. Number one, you want people's phone numbers and addresses. You want as much information as possible on your customer list so that you can reach them in other places if your email provider goes out or whatever. Number two, the less information you ask, the more the fees are on your credit card processor. So if you're just asking for, it's tempting to just get that credit card as fast as possible. but you're probably paying a lot more in fees. And as your membership grows, that's going to get higher and worse and worse and worse. So make sure you're getting as much information on your order form as possible, and you should be fine. All right, Paul.
All right, this question is from Paul. He says, my wife is on board with me making enough money for our needs, but I've started talking about my dreams, and she thinks that we'll never get out of debt and we'll never be able to do the things I dream of. Any advice to help her believe that we could maybe someday get to that point?
Prove it. Just go prove it, man. Like that's what makes everybody a believer. You know, you're almost to 50 members right now. Paul's an awesome member of the community. He's growing his membership, doing what it takes. You know, figure out the amount of members that it would take monthly to get you out of debt and to make your dreams a reality. Jocelyn and I did this actually after we quit our jobs. We were making enough money to pay our bills when we first quit our jobs. You know, we had replaced probably about, I don't know, we had sold our house, so we had lowered our bills. And I think we were probably at the time making 60 to 70% of what we were making before. Like we were making like $3,000 or $4,000 a month online. I don't remember what it was. When we quit our jobs, we had almost replaced our income, right? But then we started thinking, well, what's possible? What could happen? We've had these 2 or 3 huge months. We're averaging out to a couple other smaller months. But like what would make it possible? And we actually set a goal like, okay, we want to make $20,000 a month. That would let us travel. That would let us do whatever we wanted. That would let us buy cars once a year. That would let us pay our bills, upgrade our house, all that good stuff. And then we just said, what's $20,000 a month divided by $50? That's how many members we needed. Go get those members. Like the math always works out. So set the goal and make it happen. Like make it your goal to prove to her that it's possible. That's what I do all the time with Jocelyn. I'll say something like, hey, Jocelyn, I said the other day, I said, Jocelyn, I really want to go on this trip. And I want to go and I'm going to do this, going to do that. But then like we have like 10 trips this year. We're already going to Disney and like 19 other things. And Jocelyn's like, well, you know, we've got a budget. We set it in, you know, we're smart with our money. And I said, all right, I'm just going to sell something and I'm going to go make the money for it. And like, that's what we do. If we have a goal, if we have a dream, we figure out how much it costs and we say, how can we afford it? And then we create the thing that pays for it.
Yeah, and don't ever challenge. If you have somebody like this in your life, don't challenge them to do something. Because not too long ago, Shane was wanting to go to New York, and I really kind of didn't want to go. New York is not my favorite. I'd be cool if I never went back. But anyway, I was like, well, you know, I really don't want to. He's like, well, I really do. And I don't want to go without you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, well, if you can sell X dollars.
If you can make the money to pay for the trip in 24 hours, I'll go.
And
I was
so
like, done. And I started just going crazy. And I did. And I made the whole money for the whole trip in like 24 hours.
But I'm wondering, Paul, could you like separate the debt out into bite-sized chunks? And basically you guys could make a plan together. So like once I paid off chunk number 1, we would go and do reward number 1. So maybe it's something small, like maybe it's going out to eat. Maybe it's going on a trip somewhere. I don't know. But like once you start doing that, setting those small goals and then rewarding yourself for that, that sort of makes it real, I think.
And also too, I noticed that this says, but I've started talking about my dreams. Like, have you asked her what her dream is? Like maybe her dream is something that you could put on the list first. And then if you can prove to her, like maybe, you know, for example, when all right, here's a great story. So this is a wonderful lady right here. Okay. All right.
That's the truth.
That's my wife. She's
putting up with this.
Putting up with me, man. All right. So when we were dating we dated for a long time, and in our 20s, we were broke. I mean, I was a graduate assistant at one point making like, what did I get paid there? Like $400 a month.
It wasn't much.
It was stupid. It was like poverty money.
He did get a graduate degree out of it.
I did get a graduate degree out of it. Makes sense. But so we were going to get married, and I just called Jocelyn. I was like, look.
Well, first
of all, we proposed on the phone. I proposed. I'm like, I got a staff meeting on Monday, and we need to get married on Saturday, or we're not going to make it. So, but I said, look, we're not going to go in debt for an expensive engagement ring. We're not going to do it. Like, we're not going to do this. Like I can't do it. I can't get you a ring. But look, let's just get a ring, and I'll buy you another ring later when we can afford it. So Jocelyn, the amazing woman that she is, accepted a birthstone engagement ring. No diamond. There's no diamonds in this thing. A couple $100, and that was our ring. And that was our engagement ring. We went and got the cheapest gold bands we could find. And you know, that's how we got married. But when we started making money online a few years ago, Jocelyn was like, do you remember that promise that we made to each other? Like when we would afford it, we would get a new ring. So Jocelyn went out and she picked
And I
out
chose my
her
own.
own. Are you wearing it right now?
Yes, but I don't have my nails done, so I can't show
Oh,
it.
she can't show it right. But she bought this like baller rock, on her finger when we could afford it, right? But that was like one of her dreams was to upgrade the ring. So we put that on the list, right? So make sure you're putting like her dreams on the list too. And if you can make maybe a couple of the smaller ones of hers, maybe it's just a trip, make that happen. And then she'll probably be more inclined to believe the other ones are going to come true too. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys, we got a couple more questions here. We're going to rapid fire these just a little bit. Want to remind someone said classy. Hey, listen, love. That's love, man. That's not. It's classy. That's a guy with his mind on his money.
I think he was more referring to the proposal or anti-proposal. It wasn't even really a proposal.
We were in a hurry. I mean, I basically called Jocelyn and said, "Look, I know for sure that I've got a staff meeting, and I will not see you when football season starts."
No, and we're like, "What are we gonna do?" Because I was living in Kentucky and you were living in West Virginia, and we're like, "Well, what are we gonna do? Like, are we going to keep this going, or are we going to go our separate ways?" Or
we went married. We got married. It was awesome. All right. Next question is from Nate.
All right. This question is from Nate. He says, "How do you test out pricing? We currently have a 2-tier system for $39 a month and $79 a month, along with a $297 annual and $549 annual.
So it's 2 tiers. Okay, I got it. It's like 2 tiers.
It feels like we could charge more, but I have a hard time knowing if we should increase it without increasing it." What?
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Okay, Nate, you're confusing me. Once we raise it, we would prefer not to decrease later. Okay.
One, let me. All right. 99% of people will never see your sales page on your list. Like let's say 95. I'll be more positive. But like, don't worry about that. You may have to decrease it. Because it's like telling a joke, right? Comedians push the limits of the line. They push up against the line and they go beyond the line sometimes. And maybe they say something that's offensive or is not funny. But they've got to push past the line before they can back up to where the funny is, right? It's the same thing with prices, guys. You just don't know until you offer it. We pushed our price one time for the Flip Your Life community to like $199 a month, and it killed sales. Like the sales stopped, so I knew I had to back up. So like you have to push past that. And the only way to know if a price will work is to try it, right? And I'm talking try it for like 3 months. So I would say we're raising prices to $49. Anyone who wants to sign up now can get in for $39 and then raise the price to $49. And then you try that for 6 months and promotions.
Might there be 1 or 2 people that say, "Hey, I paid X and you're now selling it for Y." And you say, "Hey, I would be happy to change your price." That's all that you have to do.
Yeah.
There's going to be maybe 2 or 3 people that do this.
You're going to have to do that. You can't avoid all problems, and you're going to have to. You got to go erase the board and write the new price and try it for a while and see how it impacts sales. You're not going to know it in a week. You're not going to know it in a month. You're going to have to try price increases for a whole quarter and see how it works out, right? And then see if you make more money. You can make less sales. Like if your price goes up from $39 to $99, well, now you need, 2, you only need 1 person for selling 2 or 3 before. So you can have a lot less people paying a higher price and still make more money. So you're just going to have to do it. Like it doesn't matter if you would prefer not to decrease it later. That is probably going to happen throughout your business cycle, right? It happens everybody does it. Like they try to see how much they can charge for a car. Hey, let's see if we can charge $50,000. That didn't work. They lower it to 40. Some people bought it at 50. That's just the way it is. iPhones comes out for 2,000. Okay, then all of a sudden 3 months later it's $7.99, right? Like some people bought it for 2,000, right? You go in and you buy a gallon of milk. It's $3. Next week they have a sale for 99 cents a gallon. They're not going to give you your $2 back. So I mean, you're always constantly passing prices. You can't be scared of that anymore, and you're going to have to do it over time. Don't just change your price for a week and freak out. Actually change it and see what happens. A good way to mitigate this too is change your monthly prices, but not your annuals. Like don't change them both at the same time. And that way it'll kind of protect you. Like you can raise your monthly and your annuals may still sell at the same rate because they're the same price. Then change your annuals later. Like that's a good way to kind of balance that out. But you're going to have to go for it and see what happens. And if you charge too much and sales go down, You found the point of diminishing returns. Take one step back and fix anybody that bought it at the other price. All right, got Lene.
Okay. This question is from Lene. It says, I have only 3 members, but I haven't promoted a lot. I slowed down my emails and YouTube, but I'm hoping to get more consistent now that I have found a really good video editor to help me. I've only done ads, but no webinars. My ads haven't produced a lot of emails, but 3 people did magically sign up. How am I doing? This feels exciting, but slow.
It is exciting, but slow. But like, I love it when people are like, yeah, I haven't promoted my stuff and, I haven't made much money. Okay. That's why I'm wearing a shirt that literally says prolific on it, because this is the only word that matters in marketing. Just promote more. Do webinars. I'm going to challenge you to do a webinar. I'm going to challenge you to do 36 webinars in the next year. That's 3 a month.
You could do a challenge.
You could do
like we talked about earlier.
Do a challenge. Go in and drive ad traffic to your webinars. Emails. I'm going to challenge everybody here. Email your list at least 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There you go. Do it. Like if everyone in here would add 1 more email a week and add 3 more webinars a month, every person listening to my voice would make more money online. That's it. So yeah, you're doing great. You have members. If you can find 1, you can find 101, 1,001. They're out there. There are real people who love what you're doing and they're ready to buy it. So you just have to get in front of more of those people. And that's you. That's your responsibility to do that. So Lene, you're doing awesome. Imagine how much more exciting it'll be when it says 30 members instead of 3 members. And then take that excitement and go out and be more prolific in your email marketing and your webinars.
And it's not magic. I mean, those people found you because you were doing the things that you needed to do to be found. So just do more of them.
Awesome stuff, guys. We're winding this down.
There's another success story.
We got a success story that we're going to share. All right, guys, we got another success story from Dan. This will be Rebecca's, wouldn't it? Yep. All right, we got a success story from Rebecca. The success story says, we had an end of the year annual membership sale. We got lots of new members, 20 to 30 new members. I was so surprised because we had a huge membership push in November, but still sold more annual memberships with just a few emails at the end of the year. That is a great lesson for everybody, guys. That's an amazing success story. Getting 20 to 30 new annual members.
Especially if you're something tax deductible. Like, that is a great time.
Oh, yeah, you can tell people,
like
hey, at the end of the year, join in. But like getting 20 to 30 members up front like that on an annual plan, that's a lot of ad money and a lot of investing money that you can make in the next quarter. And it just goes to show you, never assume people won't buy. They just had a huge push 1 month. Basically, the next month, they did another huge push. And what happened? More people bought. If you give people the opportunity to buy, they're going to. So that is an awesome success story. Well done. All right. Next question is from TC.
All right. TC says, I have a 240 plus person email list now.
Rock on. Yeah. That's awesome.
Send welcome emails. Hold on. I send welcome emails. Now I'm ready to recruit founding members. What should I say about my expectations from them?
I don't understand the question.
Okay, so I think she's saying about people who are founding members. What should she say in her welcome emails is what she's trying to say. Like, what are the expectations of founding members?
Or is she trying to figure out, hey, TC, could you rewrite that question and we'll come back to it on the last question. I don't know what you do. You want to know their expectations from you, your expectations from them? Basically, are you asking us, like, are you ready to sell founding members, but you don't know what to tell them to sell it to them? Like, rewrite your question and let's clear that up. Okay, so let's do Tanya's question, and I'll wait for TC for just a minute, and then we'll wrap it up. Let me do this one.
All right, this question is from Tanya. She says, what do you think about a paid challenge?
Paid challenges are amazing for memberships because, like, let's say you have a membership that's, I'm just going to throw this out there. Let's say it's $19 a month, right? And let's say you have a perfect thing like it's health or it's wellness or it's something like that, where you could do a 5-week detox or something like that, right? Like something that you could really put into a bite-sized chunk, and you're charging people for the challenge so that they can have accountability. Like, we just paid for a challenge, a health challenge, where we're being put into a Facebook group and we're going to have accountability. That's really all it is. I mean, the plan itself we could do
We
by
could find
ourselves
it on YouTube. We could find it
for free.
online,
But we want
whatever.
the accountability. We want people that we know are going to be in this group that we know in real life. So it's like, hey, this is a big deal. Like people know we're trying to accomplish this goal and finish this challenge. So you could charge like $9 for that challenge. And at the end of it, you already know people will pay. So you've got buyers. These aren't just emails anymore. And then bam, you can sell them a thing that's not that much more. $9 and $19. What's the difference if you're going through the drive-through McDonald's? What's the difference in $9 and $19? So like that's 2 more Happy Meals is all it is. So it's a great thing to do. And you could even string them together, Tanya. Like you could go free challenge into a paid challenge, right? Like it's a little bit longer, like maybe a free week, string that into a month challenge where you're going to put people in a group. And then at the end of it, you have a webinar in the form of a training to finish up the thing, and you sell them into your membership. So yes.
The way that I would make this distinction, Tanya, is are you trying to sell to people who already know, like, and trust you, or are you trying to bring more people onto your list? If you're trying to sell to people who know, like, and trust you already, I think a paid challenge makes a lot of sense. If you are trying to get more eyeballs on your stuff, I think that probably the better way to do it would be the free into the paid or just a free challenge.
And like
so it depends on your goal.
And like the basic way to, here's how you divide that up is, our dog is barking in his sleep over here.
Or baby.
Yeah. Here's how you divide that up. If someone's on your email list, try to do a paid challenge for them. If someone's not on your email list, you should probably do a free challenge. Like that's pretty much how you should divide it up. Like once they cross that line of giving you contact information, it's time to start selling them stuff. All right, we're going to circle back here to TC's question. TC says, I have our next question is from TC. TC says, I have 240 people on my email list. I am ready to recruit my founding members. I don't know what to tell them. How can I get founding members? TC, the best way to do this when you have an email list is to do a free training, which is a webinar. Get them on to the training. Teach them something, usually what you want them to do. TC sells a course basically to help people be a great project manager. So you could say, hey, the 3 secrets to being a great project manager. So you bring it in, you tell them those 3 secrets, and then you show them how your membership makes those 3 secrets possible in their life. And then you pitch your membership, and you tell them what's inside, you tell them the benefits, you tell them the courses, you tell them how you're going to be there for them and hold them accountable. You tell them about the awesome community that you're building around your topic, and that's how you get them to go. So the best way to do it is say, hey, you're not going to make a living just straight up selling on your email list. You're going to have to get them to move to a place where they're with you, where you can sell to them, and that'll get your founding members.
And so basically you're just going to tell them like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. These are people that I've helped in the past. I have a wonderful new opportunity for you. The reason that you are going to want to do this is because of X, Y, and Z. And you have the opportunity right now to become a founding member. And that is beneficial because you get the lowest price that I'm ever going to offer for this membership.
You're going to get personal attention from me because there's only 20 people in the community, but I'm planning on growing this bigger, all of that stuff. So get those first 20 people, get them in as cheap as possible. You're just looking for people to kick the tires and help you break stuff so that you can fix it back later, and you'll knock it out of the park. And that's another thing too. TC just launched her website and stuff like recently, like in the last few months. That is awesome that you've got 240 people on that email list. When Jocelyn and I launched elementarylibrarian.com, it was between 200 and 300 emails. And the first month that we opened the doors, we made about I think it was $2,700. So you don't need a huge email list. You're right there in the sweet spot. There are probably 20 to 30 monthly members for your community right there, right now. You just have to get them to come to something and hang out with you live. Okay. All right, guys, great member call. Awesome for the first call of 2020, first call of the new year and the new decade, first call of January. We got another call on January 20th. So we fully expect everybody that was here on the 6th and everybody watching the replay, work your butt off between now and 2020. We want more success stories.
Yeah, let's see those success stories.
To have a success story on the next member call. We want to be able to celebrate successes. We want to be able to share those successes with you. If you're a little stuck on your marketing, I've been talking about it all day, go to www.prolificmonthly.com and sign up for my monthly marketing newsletter. It is a calendar that shows you exactly what to do every single day of the month for your marketing. It's specifically designed for memberships. It's 100% focused on membership. I'm going to help you come up with new promotions, tie them to holidays, and really go through your marketing. I have a paragraph for every day of the month explaining exactly what you need to do to be prepared, to get set up, and to market your memberships proficiently and prolifically. So go to www.prolificmonthly.com. Type that in there real quick. You got to put the www in. I don't have it set up right. So it's www.prolificmonthly.com. The print copy for January has already been mailed out, but I will get you a digital copy if you sign up today. I'll send that in. That is only available to people on our Flip Your Life member calls. I don't actually market this thing. I only market it for 3 days out of every single month because I only want a few members coming in at a time. So right now you can get the digital copy for January. I'll send it to you, and you'll be ready to get your February copy so that you can have that at your door by February 1st, and you can be ready to work through that. It's a workbook. You get to write in it. It's got all kinds of activities and stuff. I even have a crossword puzzle. It's even got a crossword puzzle.
He did include a crossword puzzle.
I was like, Jocelyn, I'm putting a crossword puzzle in because it sounds fun. So it's my newsletter. I'll do whatever I want with it. So check that out, www.prolificmonthly.com. If you have an email list of over 100 people, or you have social media following of over 100 people, you need to subscribe to Prolific Monthly. I'm going to help you turn that audience into customers. I'm going to help you turn that attention into members. So check it out, www. I won't lie, the crossword puzzle is enticing, Dan said. So awesome stuff, guys. Great member call today. Great questions. We will be processing this, and the replay will be up in just a little while inside of the Flip Your Life community. We did open this call up today to past members. It's the first member call of the new decade. So I shot an email out to past members. If you're a past member and you've not been on a member call in a while,
Come back.
Yeah, come on back. Head over to fliplifestyle.com/flipyourlife. We would love to have you back inside the community.
People do it all the time.
We got new trainings coming out this month. We're changing up the community. We're going to be upgrading some of our systems over the next few months. And we are actually hiring people right now to help us serve our community better. So check that out, fliplifestyle.com/flipyourlife. And if you are not a subscriber to Prolific Monthly, www.prolificmonthly.com. We love you guys. We will see you back here on the 20th. Between now and then, we will see you in the forums. Get in there right now and go ahead and talk to each other, ask questions, set action plans, and we want more success stories. We want to hear your success stories on the next member call on
Happy
the 20th.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Till next time, get out there,
Bye.
take action, do whatever it takes. Flip your life. We'll see you then.
Bye.